Okay, Aidan, first off, a big welcome and congratulations on getting your apprenticeship at Hey Presto Mobile Mechanical.
Thank you.
Okay, so what we're going to be talking through today is a learning pathway that will be applied to both yourself and Brianna. But I'll be interviewing Brianna. Part of her training will work in with yours, but there'll be parts that are very different from each other. So we'll get into your learning pathway, and yeah, if there's anything you need to bring up or any concerns, just make sure you bring that forward to me straight away and we can discuss them.
Yep.
All right, so I'll share the screen here now. Okay, so the pathway purpose, so to develop the knowledge and skills of Hey Presto mobile mechanical apprentice mechanics to carry out the mechanical maintenance and repairs on road registered vehicles as per Australian standards. All right, so Aidan, you're a first year apprentice, just completing year 10. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yep, awesome. And obviously Brianna here, she's also a first year mature-aged apprentice who's entering the workforce after the birth of her first child. So well done to her too. So on your part here, so we'll be reading down the left side of the column or learning pathway 1. So your learning pathway objective is the first part of it will be identifying wheel bearing components and their location, and obviously the repair and maintenance side of it. The second component of your learning pathway will be steering and suspension, maintenance and repair. Okay, so then our third section of your pathway will be on-the-job coaching, wheel bearing maintenance and repair. So basically we'll be in the workshop, we'll be hands-on doing a lot more of it.
Yep.
All right, you're pretty comfortable with that so far?
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Awesome. So learning outcomes. So at the end of our training, these are the things we want to have the points that you're at. All right, so at the end of the learning pathway, Aidan will be able to maintain and replace wheel bearings to a roadworthy standard, identify types of tyre wear and what causes the wear. So those says where it rolls into our suspension and steering component side. Repair and replace suspension and steering components to the roadworthy standard. All right, that makes sense to you there so far, Aidan?
Yep.
Awesome. So our delivery period. So we'd be looking to start on the 11th of February, 2022, and the training will carry out till 6th of May, 2022. All right, it'll be carried out on Fridays, and basically it'll flow through the lesson as it'll point out what Fridays and what we'll be doing as we go through our program. All right, so workplace tasks. So these are tasks or things that we'll be doing to enforce our training program. We'll be inspecting and replacing wheel bearings on a box trailer. We'll be finding and identifying forms of tyre wear and explaining the causes. We'll be replacing a tie rod end and checking and adjusting toe in and toe out. Right, these are the workplace jobs we'll be doing to really cover the areas that we're trying to get through in this program. Okay, happy so far there, Aidan?
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Yep, awesome. Okay, so as learner 1, that's you here, Aidan. How do you believe you learn the best? What ways do you learn best?
I'd have to say hands-on and like watching and doing sort of thing.
Yep. So seeing it.
Yep, and doing it.
Doing it. Awesome. Awesome there. So that's pretty simple. That's great. So obviously with this industry, it's a lot of hands-on, it's a lot of looking and doing, so I think you'll really enjoy it.
Yep.
barriers that might limit your learning potential. Have you got anything that might restrict you from doing any things, or learning any of the tasks?
None at this point in time, no.
None at this point in time. Awesome. All right. Obviously, if any come up or any come to mind, definitely bring them forward, so we can get straight onto it and sort them out for you, because we want this to be enjoyable for you too.
Yep.
Okay, we'll go into experience. What experience? I've just jotted down the points here. Wheel bearings. Have you had much experience at all, Aidan? Or any? None is fine, but yeah, any experience you can fill us in on?
I have done basic like trailer wheel bearings on the box trailer at home.
Yep. So basic. So only your personal box trailer.
Yep.
Awesome. Tyre wear. You had much to do with identifying tyre wear?
No, I haven't had anything to do with tyre wear.
Nothing. Yep. Now that's not a problem. That's why we're here. We're here to learn it. So that's great. We're just trying to get a feel for where you're at the moment. Yep. Suspension and steering. Have you had much to do with it? Any repairs or anything done there?
Just minor knowledge, really.
Minor knowledge. So you've seen it, you haven't actually done it, kind of stuff. You mean?
Yeah, haven't played with it.
Yep. Awesome. Okay, so that's basically gives me a bit of a background on where you're at, so we can make sure that it's contextualized and best starts where you need it to start, is in the learning side of it. Okay, so we'll go now. We're going to look at your pathway. So you're learner 1 through this. So session 1, we'll be looking at wheel bearing inspection, service and repair, identifying components and their locations. All right, so basically we'll be pulling apart a trailer bearing to start with. We'll be looking basically at the replacement side of it, how to grease it, how to pack your hubs, how to check your seals, all that side of the things, which we'll go into a fair bit of depth once we get into the lesson. The skills and knowledge that are involved in this session. So a big part of it is setting up the job. So we'll be learning how to secure the trailer and ensure that we've got it jacked and standing correctly, using all the safety equipment that we'll have on hand. Then we'll go into the identification of the components, their location and their purpose, removing and replacing wheel bearings and seals, assembling and attentioning the wheel bearings. So we'll really get into it and show you, and obviously get you to do it as well, the whole parts of pulling apart and putting it back together. Does that sound pretty good to you?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yep. So in this session, it'll only be myself and you. So I'll be there as your trainer. I'll be your supervisor. It'll be on one Friday. So this will be our first Friday. The context, so it's going to be on site. It's going to be in your workshop. The resources required for this session. So we'll need a trailer wheel bearing kit. So I'll arrange all this stuff. It'll be all there ready to go. We'll have a marine seal and a standard seal to have a look at and see the differences and point out which ones we apply in certain areas. And we'll have an axle and a hub there so we'll just get a box trailer in, we'll jack it, stand it, and we'll have it all there ready to go so that we can really get in and see how it all works.
Yep.
Follow-up practice, obviously, if you feel you need some follow-up practice, I encourage you to definitely bring it forward to me. Additionally, your workshop foreman, Trevor, that I've already spoke to, he'll be also there and is more than happy to take anything from you that you want to ask questions of, or give you as much experience or practice as he can. All right, so anything there you require further practice, don't hesitate to talk to myself or Trevor.
No worries.
Awesome. All right, so we roll into session 2. So we're going to be looking at steering and suspension. So basically, we're going to be pulling apart, having a look at everything, seeing how it works, adjusting some towing and sort of stuff like that. The skills and knowledge involved in this session will be jacking up and setting up the job, knowledge of the steering components and their function, and removing the steering components and reinstalling them. So we'll be jacking it up, looking at how they work, where the wear points can be, and obviously we'll remove a tie rod end and replace it. And then we'll look at adjusting our toe in, toe out again. So we'll really get in depth in that side of it. Now in this session, Brianna now will come into this session with us, because this is a part where you guys will cross over a bit. So yourself and Brianna will be there. I'll be there as your supervisor, and also giving you some hands-on like visual experience there too, with the placement of parts and so forth. The session goes over 2 Fridays. Then it'll be on site again. Obviously, it's a hand-on experience. We're going to be in your workshop. The resources we'll need for the session: jack stands, chocks as per the trailer, a vehicle with an I-beam suspension, as this is a basic form of suspension. This is what we'll start on, the basics. And then the basics set the platform for you to progress upwards, or I hope that you wish to progress upwards. And basic hand tooling. So we'll have all that all prepared, ready to go. Basically, you've got to be there and get ready to get into the job. Again, follow-up practice will be with Trevor again, your foreman, or myself. So make sure you definitely, any concerns, any follow-up practice you want, you're coming straight forward to us. Let us know. I don't believe there's ever a stupid question. I want you to ask them. I want you to let me know if there's a problem.
Yep.
All right, so the topics are, so we'll be demonstrating inspection and repair of the steering systems in the workplace for that session. So session 3. So yeah, basically session 3, what we'll be doing, we'll be getting into the workshop, and I'll be getting you to do it. I want to watch you do it. I want you to jack it up, do the work yourself. All right, so you'll be demonstrating to me the inspection repair of steering and suspension systems. You'll be showing me how wheel bearings and how they work and doing the job. All right, this is the part where I'm going to be sitting there watching you do it. All right. In this, it'll be yourself, Aidan, in these sessions. Me there as a coaching, mentoring sort of a role. So I'll be sitting back watching you doing it. This will go over 4 Fridays. It'll be on site. The resources as above would be jack stands, chocks, an I-beam suspension, hand tooling. So obviously you'll have your wheel bearings and all that on that I-beam suspension and stuff. We'll be looking at pulling all that apart, fixing it, doing all those repairs. Obviously after that, follow-up practice again is your foreman, Trevor, and myself. So make sure just make sure you're letting us know, and any concerns, you bring it straight forward so we can make sure you're on the right track and consistently learning. Supervisory arrangements, again, Trevor, he'll be your internal supervisor. He's obviously your workshop foreman. He should be there when you're doing most of your tasks. Internally and externally, that'll be me. I'll be your person internally on the days. And obviously, if you need extra assistance and you need to talk to me, happy to work in with you to come in and help you out. And externally, obviously, again, I'm contactable. any concerns, bring it straight forward. We'll go into work health and safety responsibilities. What are the responsibilities for work health and safety involved in the pathway? So the big one is we're going to be in and out of the workshop, stuff like that. We need your correct PPE. So your correct work clothing, everything that you would wear to work on your normal day, ensure that we've got it and we've got it on ready to go. We'll carry out a pre-task risk assessment prior to the jobs. All right, so we're going to look at all the hazards and what needs to control them, which we'll start to touch on shortly. We'll inspect and use the correct tooling as per Hey Presto mobile mechanical policies. So we want to be using a jack for doing the jacking job. We want to be using jack stands for doing the jack stands job. All right, and we'll apply the correct chocking methods. All right, so we want to make sure that we're doing everything as per Hey Presto policies.
Yeah.
The next one is good housekeeping. We want to keep our work area clean. It's easy to get grease on the floor and just go, oh, we'll get it later. We don't want to be doing that. We want to be cleaning up as we go. Now, and this is follow on to reasons why. So hazards that could come. Now, if I haven't touched on any at the end of this, you let me know if you think there's some more we can add in. Crush injuries, right? So that's a big hazard that can happen in this industry. So the truck dropping down or the car dropping down on top of you or a part falling. Cuts and abrasions. So that's hence why we've got longs, our long pants, our enclosed footwear, our long sleeves, and obviously we'll use gloves. Slip, trips and falls. So that's where our good housekeeping comes into it. We don't want to see anyone slipping over on a patch of grease. How will these issues be addressed? As we just mentioned, a couple. So we'll use correct jacking and standing procedures, make sure that we're giving we're putting everything in place to stop crush injuries. Use gloves and correct clothing for abrasions, like we talked about. Eyes on the path and good housekeeping. So obviously we can't eliminate everything that's on the floor. Just make sure you keep aware of your surroundings and that we are cleaning up any mess that we put down or anything that doesn't have to be on the floor is on a bench or tidied up in a fashion that no one's going to slip or trip on it.
Yep.
Contractual agreements. So you're a trainee or apprenticeship that you're doing. So we've ticked that box up here. Now we get to this part. Is there anything there that we can put in place to help you on your pathway? So is there anything that you feel could make it difficult for you to learn or take in information or anything so forth that we could help you with, or even if it's just at time to time?
Yeah. Reading and writing, I'll probably need some help.
Yep.
At time.
All right, so reading and writing. Okay, now is it a lot of help or just every now and then you get a bit caught up with it?
Just every now and then.
Yep.
Yeah.
So just minor help. Now, do you want us to always assist you with this, or would you rather just ask at the time when you're struggling a bit, or?
I'll just ask when I'm struggling.
Awesome. Well, that's good that you pointed that out to us, because there is little parts of reading and writing in this that we'll need you to do, and I don't want to see you fall behind just because we don't know this little part of it. Is that all you had there, you think? Just that reading and writing a bit? Yep.
Yeah, yep.
All right. So the evaluation methods will have observation of simulated practical demonstration. So I'll get you to show us some stuff. Observation of real work practical demonstration with supervision. So that's sort of towards the end when I get you doing it all yourself and showing me how it's done. Training records. So there'll be a logbook that I think you get will be that, as you'd probably have already been issued, that you have to fill out with when you do a task as an example. Yep. And I'll obviously be in touch with Trevor or as well, and having a discussion with him on how he feels you're traveling and if there's any areas we have to help you improve on. And obviously we'll implement that into our training programs. Okay, so we're getting down to the tail end of it here, closing the learning pathway. So is there any feedback on that you want to give us? Any additional things you want to add, or you're pretty happy with where we're at?
No, I'm pretty happy with it all.
Yep. Pretty keen to get into it?
Yeah, can't wait.
Okay. Negotiated changes to the planned pathway. So basically this part here is your chance. Is there anything that we need to change in this pathway, do you think, or are you happy with where it's at?
I'm pretty happy with
yep.
it.
Okay. Obviously, I just want to let you know that, yeah, like at any stage, if there's something you feel we could change to do better or something comes up, make sure you bring it forward and we'll try to do our best to facilitate it.
Yep.
A big one too here is this learning, this learning program is designed to help you achieve your goal. So your goal is to get through your apprenticeship and obviously become a tradesman, which opens up bigger avenues for you to obviously progress in your industry, and obviously money comes into it as well. The better you get, the more the money is probably going to be there for you,
Yep.
which is a big drive for everyone. Everyone likes to earn more. Big part of that is it comes back to you. You have to be on top of your training. If you're starting to struggle, I need you to come forward. If you're not putting in the effort, that's when it's only going to come back to hurt you. So I need you to really take ownership of your own training and try to get the best out of it, and make sure you're really onto me to get you where you want to be. We'll do our best in that respect. So, but if you're not pushing it yourself, your pathway is not going to be the best for you. All right. So I really need you to put the effort in and try and get the best out of what we can give you through this program.
Yep.
All right. Any questions? You're fine so far?
Yeah, no, it all sounds pretty good.
Awesome. So here we are. So that's the facilitator. That's me. So data and signature. Now we're going to get down the bottom here. So if you're all happy with the program here, Aiden, I just need you to sign or type your name in here for me. Now,
yep.
Up in the top center, you should have a function there for annotate. Can you see it? Yep, if you can get that. Yep. If you want to type your name, that's fine because we're on video, and just date in Learner 1, please. Yep, perfect. And just the date, mate.
What's the date today? It's
we're the 21st of the 3rd. Awesome. All right, mate. Yep. Well, look, that basically wraps us up. Now, that's there. So I will screenshot that. Now, look, I think I'm pretty happy with how that all went down. Obviously, if there's any concerns that you have, I want you to come straight forward to us, even prior to the lesson. Now, more information will be given to you prior to the commencement on anything that you need to have with you on the day, and that'll give you a checklist and that so forth of stuff you have to have with you. But no, mate, look, I hope you're looking forward to it, and I look forward to meeting you, once we get underway.
Yep, no worries. Thanks again.
Right, no worries. Well, anyway, mate, number's there. If you need to talk to me about anything, give us a buzz, and we'll talk soon.
No worries. Thanks.
All right, mate. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.